The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and all you other freakazoids and paranormal nuts like us out there, what's happening? It's Wednesday night. It is, what is the hell's the date today? I don't remember.
The 8th.
It's
Crazy
Wednesday the 8th, May 8th, and it's snowing in parts of the United States on May 8th, 2019. Welcome to the show, everybody. Talk Live Paranormal with Shannon and Mr. Bill. I am Mr. Bill.
And I am Shannon.
And she's back with us.
Yes.
How y'all doing out there? I hope everybody's having a good time. Hope everybody's living large and largely living. Living every day to its fullest. Want to throw a shout out right away to the men and women in uniform out there serving this great country. Thank you for everything you do every single day and making it great and free for us so we can play and have a good time. Thank you to the men and women, sons and daughters, moms and dads, for the people that are left behind, the family members of those overseas and or even stateside but still serving. Keep those home fires burning, and thank you for giving the support to those guys that need it.
Yes,
thank you
guys.
very much.
Thank you all for your service.
I want to throw another shout out because there's been a lot of things going on in the news that have been ugly lately.
That narrows it down.
Well, Colorado had that shooting.
Yep.
Again.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Want to express our condolences to the families of the people that were. I think there was only one person so far that has died, but lots of other people were hurt and injured. Please want to send our well wishes to those guys to get better. You know, we're all fighting with you. I don't know.
What are these people thinking?
I don't know. I don't even know where to go with that one. I don't know. One of them, the kid was what, 15? He's a minor. And then the other one was, I guess 18. But the gentleman who died had just turned 18 and was 7 days from graduating high school, from what I understand.
Wow.
Our big condolence. We want to send a lot of our love and light out to that family in their time of grieving. No, please note the whole nation's with you guys on this. You're not alone. Also, I heard of a 7-year-old in Michigan shot and killed his mom.
What?
I don't know what's going on there. It's just...
You guys own firearms and stuff. Well, keep that shit locked up.
Please do that. Please keep it locked up. It
can be easily prevented from your children. Oh, it's so annoying being a gun owner.
It's, you know, and it's...
I don't even know what else to say on it, to be honest with you.
I've always wanted to write a book or have another show called The Pussification and the Stupidification of the United States of America, because it's the dumbass people that are out there that are allowing shit like this to happen. I don't want to go into it right now, but it's just, I look at things that's going on and where's an island that I can go to and grow my own food and not have to worry about anything?
Right?
I don't know.
That's weird that you said that, because sitting out here on my front porch when I'll smoke a cigarette or something in my apartment complex, I hear children crying all the time. And I just want to go over and ask them if they're okay. You know what I mean? And it's probably something simple to where they don't feel good or something, you know, but it's 50-50.
Yeah.
You could be preventing something if a parent's beating a child or something. And then I was thinking the same thing. I just want to live in the woods where I don't hear any other children crying.
That is the worst sound in the world, is to hear a child cry. If you're old enough and you're an adult or considered an adult and you make stupid decisions, you know what? You're on your own. But children are children. Come on, people. they're so easily influenced, and what we do as adults influence what these children do. And every single day, it seems like something dumber is happening. It's just we're going downhill.
Did you hear the where I don't remember where I probably read it on Facebook about the gentleman who got pissed off at a video game and punched his 1 month or 2 month old baby in the head and killed him?
No. That just pisses me off even more.
This is why I can't watch the news. Like, I refuse to watch the news. I'll watch it around elections and stuff like that, even though I don't want to watch it then either. But that's 9 times out of 10, that's the reason I can't watch the news, is I can't see stories on children or, people being killed, like the shooting, and I can't watch that stuff. And to be honest with you, I've blocked people on Facebook who've posted stuff like that, who share it and continuously. I know they might be thinking they're helping by sharing it, trying to get it out there, and if anybody knows this person, stuff like that, but somebody knows because somebody's usually there with a phone recording it,
Yeah, and that's the part that gets me the most is 9 times out of 10, someone is recording it. And they're recording the whole, you know what?
They're recording it and they're laughing at it like it's a joke.
Yeah. So
don't post that shit. Don't post that shit on Facebook.
Please don't. Don't martyr these people, make them and show other kids or other people what they can do.
All right, like it's okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's get off that topic.
No kidding. So I have not been hunting in a while. I won't be or investigating in a while. We have a couple of for Riverside, Iowa Paranormal. We have a couple of private ones coming up here very soon. I know we have. We were supposed to do one last weekend for a couple, but the gentleman forgot that he scheduled it on his anniversary.
Oh.
It's like, hey, dude, nope, we understand that you want to back out of this one right now, but we're going to go up and help that couple out because they're having some issues with their kids. And, of course, we're back to the whole kids thing. They call and say there's kids involved, and we stop everything and try to figure how we can help.
Well, yeah, that's all of us on this.
And then we're doing another private one. I don't want to give any names out, but the lady is like, I think we're doing her place on the 3rd of June. I got to pull a calendar up here real quick. May, June. Nope, we're doing it on the 1st of June. And the very next weekend, she turns 100.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I just want to sit and talk with her is all I really want to do. And get,
right.
Let's
She's
record
been around
this.
A long time.
Yeah. What have you seen? What have you done? But she's hearing strange names and voices and sounds and things coming from areas. So we've done a couple of small home visits with her. We've had a couple other people go up to home visits with her, and we haven't had a chance to do the full blown set up cameras and do it. So that's what we're doing on the 1st.
Is that in Iowa?
Yep. So we're gonna take a look at that one. And then on, I want to say it's the 17th and 18th, they'll be down in Missouri State Pen with Ghost Hunts USA.
Lucky.
Yeah, I can't wait I haven't been down there for a while, so had to cancel the last one that I was supposed to go to. Had to cancel the last couple because of some medical issues, so I'm hoping to bypass all this medical stuff. And I already told my doctor, hey, on this one, I don't care what you say, I'm going. I need to do it. I feel the need. The need is there, and it's getting strong. So, other than that, what have you been up to?
I can't tell you the last time Beth and I did a residential. It was that one out in Greenfield, Ohio. That was that was wicked. There's some weird stuff. I'm not used to seeing kind of stuff like that. That's the first time. But we got. With the group I'm with right now, Abyss Paranormal, we're going to be out at Ashmore Estates in Illinois on this Saturday.
11th.
And I'm pumped because I haven't investigated in a while either. So I'm excited to get out there. There's only going to be 4 of us in the whole building all night. So
that's cool.
Right, to be interesting.
That should be very interesting.
They've never been. I've been multiple times, but it's their first time going, so I'm not really...
So you've been to Ashmore before?
Oh yeah, I've been to Ashmore multiple times. That's where I met Kelly and...
You suck. You suck. You suck.
That's one of the ones I used to run for ghost hunts when he had it.
You suck.
I love Ashmore. I love Robin Terry too. He's the owner of the place, and I get along with him really well because of me playing hockey. He used to coach women's ice hockey, so we always have that in common. But yeah, I don't even know if he'll be out there, and I know Hannah used to live in the trailer on the grounds and help do the tours and stuff, but I think she's not out there anymore. I think they moved, so I'm not sure it's going to be a new face when we get out there Saturday. And Robin gave us we got the big bunkhouse, sleeps 8, so we'll all be in one bunkhouse.
You suck.
If we sleep, I mean, I didn't drive. I'm driving to their house just outside of Muncie, Indiana, and leaving my truck and riding with them, so I won't have to worry about driving. So, I mean, I might stay up a little later.
You never know.
But I don't have my periscopes and stuff. Like, I sold my 2 periscopes, needed the money, so I was hoping to get a couple more before we went, but I think we got enough. We got plenty of cameras. Lots of recorders.
See, Ashmore would be a place I'd like to try in the Pharaoh, the pyramid.
Oh yeah, well, I don't have nothing cool like that. I got all the stuff that can probably make it, but I don't know. I told Steve, the other guy in the group, I said I suck at soldering. That's my downfall. Like, I have all the diodes and all that stuff and everything, and the LED lights and all that stuff, but I suck at soldering.
Well, why don't you practice?
Well, I probably could. I don't know. I haven't had the time lately with everything going on with Allie, and Taylor's out of school in a week and a half, 2 weeks already.
Really?
Yeah, they get out less than 2 weeks, I think. They got 2 weeks left, maybe.
Wow.
Then she'll be a junior. Time flies when you have kids.
Yeah, well, it flies when you don't have kids, too.
Well, yeah.
Or when you don't know that if you have kids.
Remember, don't know if you have kids.
Still trying to figure that one out.
Right. You'll find out years down the road.
When I'm your son. When the bus pulls up in front of the house and goes, "Hey, Dad." Oh, crap.
Well, right. Other than the Ashmore, I don't really have... We're trying to get back out to Randolph County Asylum. Okay. I think it might be in August if we make it happen, and I haven't been out there in 2 years. And speaking of Robin from Ashmore, he actually does a lot of stuff with Mike Couch and the Lost Limbs Foundation.
Yep.
They do a lot of events out there, and Mike has been training really, really hard. I've been watching his videos on Facebook, and for all of you guys that don't know who Mike is, we've talked about him a couple times, but he runs the Lost Limbs Foundations, and they basically help with the cost of prosthetics for children and adults. But he also has a prosthetic leg, and he's been working out, and on June 22nd, him and Nick Groff are going to be climbing Mount Washington to help raise money for the Lost Limbs. So, and it's actually going to be filmed and shown. If you guys want to watch it, it's on VidiSpace. It's www.vidi.space, and that's Nick Groff's website where they do all their videos and stuff.
Cool.
So we'll get to actually watch it live. So I'm actually excited about that for him to be doing that. I know it's a lot for him because he hasn't had a prosthetic leg very long. He's just been on crutches for a long time. They haven't had one to fit comfortable for him. So it's gonna be tough for him, but I think he's gonna do it.
Awesome.
I'm rooting for him.
That's cool shit. I'm glad he's doing it. I'm glad he's getting out and doing stuff, and I'm glad I'm glad they're gonna film it so that way they can show everybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. You should watch it.
Cool. So one of the things we're just kind of scanning the internet because Google is our friend. I found an article. It's where'd it go? The top haunted hotels in the USA. So I'm going to start at the very bottom of this list. I want to know if you've ever heard any of these.
Okay.
Number 11 is the Hawthorne Hotel in Salem, Massachusetts.
Heard of it.
Okay. It says there have been great controversy over the supposed haunted hotel, and questions still exist if it is truly haunted or who is haunting the location. Perhaps because the local history of Salem, many people automatically assume. Nevertheless, there is a great history from this hotel, and you can certainly feel something. So, that's number 11.
Okay.
Number 10 is the only one, it's in Kennewill Park, New York, and it's the Esperanza Mansion.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of this one either. It's, they said whether it should be chalked up to local folklore. However, there are many who believe that there is a phantom lady decked out in white wandering the property. Similar to any ghost worth his or her weight. What? Who the hell wrote this? Similar to any ghost worth his/her weightlessness. She is also very skilled at keeping us mere mortals in the dark. Someone needs to learn how to type. No one knows actually who she is or where she came from. It is possibly better that way. Tip: if you need a vacation from waiting for the lady in white to appear, refocus your paranormal energies on the nearby Spook Hill.
Huh.
Okay. The next one is the Mayflower Hotel. It doesn't give a location for this thing, but it just says... Presidential alert. The inaugural ball custom at the Mayflower began while Calvin Coolidge was in office. However, he missed his due to his son's untimely death at a fortnight earlier. What? Calvin Coolidge's son was playing Fortnite? I didn't know they had it back then.
That's where they got that from.
Son of a... Let's see. Silent Cal, but Silent Cal mainly remains just that in. I can't even read that. They said they've seen his presence at in the grand ballroom.
Okay.
And they give times. The only hints of his presence are flickering lights in the grand ballroom at 10 p.m., which would have announced the ball's guest of honor back in 1925. I knew they used to flicker the lights when the guest of honor was coming in. Okay. And an elevator that will not budge from the 8th floor. It's holding the location at his room until 10:15, which is exactly the time that when he planned to make his entrance into the event.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah, because I'd be standing next to the door going, Cal, come on, man. So then in San Francisco, you have the Queen Anne.
Heard of that one either.
What?
I haven't heard of that one either.
The Queen Anne? Okay.
I've heard of the Queen Mary.
Cannot all ghosts will leave you cold.
Okay.
Okay. Miss Mary Lake, the former head mistress of the school for the girls that opened here in 1890, had been known to take care of guests who stayed in her former office, room 410, just as she really did for her pupils several generations ago. Many have revealed that their clothes were unpacked for them while they were asleep and have woken up in the night to find their blankets tucked in neatly around them. Oh, she's a mom.
That's kind of like the woman that used to stand at the foot of our beds at RCI. Like every time when we all went to sleep, said that woman would come in there and she would go to the foot of each of our beds. Never bothered us or anything. I never saw her, but that's what Beth said.
Huh. So number 7 is the La Pasado. I don't speak Spanish, so this is going to suck. La Pasado de Santa Fe in Santa Fe, New Mexico. This hotel's spectral highlight. A German known as Julia Staub feels right at home here because before it grew and became a resort, it was her residence. Built by her merchant husband in 1882 after her 8th child died shortly after delivery, Frau Julia spun into deep depression, ultimately holding up in her room, never to be seen in flesh again until after 1896. But in wisps and wasps and wafts, she's still present, most often seen in Suite 100, her former bedroom. I don't know if I can keep reading these. These are getting weird. So I'm going to jump to the number 2.
Okay.
Magala Inn. The inn remains today as the only boutique inn of its kind and is regarded as the most haunted hotel in Alabama. Built in Alabama in New York City. Built in 1862, this ancient property in the Deep South continues to be reminiscent of the Civil War era. It has 39 private rooms, Victoria furnishing, and the outdoor courtyard. Initially, 2 townhouses were constructed by 2 brothers-in-laws as wedding gifts for their 2 sisters in the family. But that does not mean they ever left. Guests have claimed to see a ghostly lady figure in white, swinging chandeliers, lights that turn on by a ghostly figure in white, comma, not that they were swinging from the chandeliers, the chandeliers swinging back and forth, lights turning on by them, and the furniture eerily moves on its own. That just sounds like my mom's there. So the number 1 on this most haunted, the top haunted hotels in the USA is the Stanley Hotel. I know you've heard of the Stanley.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
Generally regarded as the most spirited hotel in America, the Stanley is better known for its motivating Stephen King's The Shining after the author stayed one winter night. In 1909, the hotel was initially built to house travelers, city folk, and offered cars and servants to all their visitors. Today, many of the spirits remain as modern guests report the sounds of the. Who the hell wrote this? None of this makes any sense.
Hurry up and get through that one so you can get off that site.
All right, we're done with that one. So Stanley Hotel is the number 1, considered the number 1. And this was posted January 31st, 2019. I almost want to read the comments, but somebody else probably already wrote, who the hell wrote this?
Oh, just to see if somebody wrote it?
Yeah.
That'd be funny. Well, before I got the 10 of the freakiest places around the world, but before I jump to that, I have to bring up this article that I read earlier.
All right, go for it.
Huh?
What?
I don't know. I thought you were talking.
No, go ahead.
It's the one I was talking about earlier. It says Lily Collins, who plays, I believe it's the girlfriend of Ted Bundy in the Netflix movie with Zac Efron.
Yep.
She says that she was visited by the ghosts of Ted Bundy's victims while playing his girlfriend in the Netflix movie. Now, this is what she said. She said, I would go downstairs and have a cup of tea, trying to figure out why I had woken up again. She said of her time preparing for the role of Clofer. Is that her name? Chloe Fur in the movie? I haven't seen the movie.
I haven't either.
That I started being woken up by flashes of images like the aftermath of a struggle. Collins came to realize these were images sent to her by Bundy's deceased victims. For most, that realization may come as a terrifying shock, but to Collins, it was a confirmation that her role was important. That I didn't feel scared, I felt supported. She explained, I felt like people were saying, we're here listening, we're here to support, thank you for telling the story. Ooh, I just got chills. I just got chills reading that.
Well, it would make sense. She's had to do a lot of studying and a lot of reading about, like actors do.
Right.
They want to study up and they want to know as much as they can about their part they're going to play. It probably was quite controversial for her in her mind, looking at things and knowing that she was going to have to play
the girlfriend of a serial killer.
Yeah, that's got to be freaky to her. Unless she can learn, unless she knows how to just like, okay, it's just an act. It's not, to me, it's not real. But she's explaining and expressing that, yeah, it is actually real.
It would be different if it was just a regular movie and not like a documentary movie.
Yeah. And she's playing it down to the T, and she's I wonder if she's starting to feel the same way that lady actually did feel of, when she started finding out about what he did.
Right.
How do you live like that, and how do you go on knowing that this person that you're deeply in love with is a fucking nut, for lack of better terms.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember where I ran across that article, but it was on another paranormal site on Facebook somewhere.
Okay.
But I'd seen it on a couple different ones too, so I went ahead and shared it, and I'm like, oh, I'll talk about it for a minute.
I mean,
I thought that was really, I don't know.
How would you deal with it? If you know that you're getting visited by the spirits of the guy, of these people, and you're just an actress playing that, portraying that person.
I mean, if they weren't hurting me, like she said, she felt supported, I would probably go on with the movie.
See, that's what's going to happen when you get your next big starring role. You're going to be out there and you're going to be doing stuff, and all of a sudden, you're going to be haunting other people.
Well, I already did that in my other movie. I was in the shadows. So you're gonna laugh at me now because I'm looking at the names of these top 10 these top 10 freakiest places around the world, and yeah, you're gonna laugh because I'm not gonna be able to pronounce them either.
I'm gonna see if I can find them while you're doing that. You put top 10 freakiest places?
Yeah, it's on looks like a CNN thing. CNN travel staff. And this was posted. Oh, it looks like it was actually posted this morning at 10:37 a.m. But it says, okay, this is the first one, and I'm gonna try and say it. Gonjiam, Gonjiam, Gonjiam Psychiatric Hospital, and it is in Gyeonggi, South Korea.
Gyeonggi.
Yeah, see, I knew you would know what it was.
Gyeonggi, South Korea. We've been there.
Okay.
Gyeongyam Psychiatric Hospital. Now that I know where it's at.
And I mean, everything's brief on these. There's not very much about them. On this one, it says this story of an abandoned psychiatric hospital reads like a textbook plot of a horror film. According to local legend, patients started dying mysteriously at the hospital some 10 years ago, eventually forcing its closure. It is now an abandoned, dirty building with only the most disturbing remnants of its former life, such as rusted wire fences and disintegrating examination chairs. The hospital is famed as one of South Korea's 3 major haunted sites, the others being the Yongduk Haunted House, roamed by guests from the Korean War, and the oh my god.
Noblum.
And yeah, are you reading it?
Yeah, I got it right in front of me. Keep going.
Garden, a former restaurant where it said that you can still hear the sound of dishes being washed in the kitchen.
I think that's a road trip. We should go.
South Korea, huh?
I love South Korea.
My daughter would like it with her K-pop fandom.
Oh my god.
Uh-huh.
I want to see you say this next one.
Sedlik Osheri? Am I close?
Yep, in Sedlik, Czech Republic.
Yeah. Sedlik, is that ossuary? What is an ossuary?
Oh, no. Isn't that...
Oh, here it is. Okay.
It's for the church, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Catholic chapel in the Czech Republic. It also contains the skeletal remains of about 40,000 human beings dispersed throughout the interior in artistically arranged designs. Most notable creations made of human bones are the chandelier and oh my god, this just creeps me out. The chandelier in the center of the room and the coat of arms of the Schwarzenbergs. Schwarzenbergs. The most blue-blooded of Bohemian aristocrats on the left. It's difficult not to let your imagination run wild when pondering the sort of sick mind that conceived of things like a chandelier of human bones. Yeah, that's kind of creepy.
Well, wait a minute. It's something I'd like to have. The picture of the chandelier is wild.
Yeah, that is crazy.
It's just there's femur bones hanging down. There's probably 40 just femur bones hanging down. So there's at least 20 dead bodies up there. There's
I don't even know how I can't get mine to zoom in.
hip bones. There's vertebrae throughout the whole thing. There's finger bones. There's a couple of skulls up there. I'd like to have it.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vertebrae on there. Because that's what the bones are all hanging from.
Yep.
The backbone.
Which is cool.
Oh my god.
Now, here you got to read the one part where it says these bones were freely given from the bodies of the devout Catholics all over Europe who clamored to be buried here after the abbot of Sedlik went on a pilgrimage to Jerusalem in 1278 and brought back soil from the Golgotha where Jesus was supposed to have been crucified. So it's not like they stole the bones. People gave their family bones.
Okay.
Oh, I want you to read this next one.
Oh god. Okadesawa? Fetish market?
I'll go with that one.
What were you going to say?
I'm Okadeshua.
Okay. And that's in Lome, Togo? Where's that?
It's one of
Africa.
It's one of the islands.
Okay. As the largest fetish market in the world, Okadesawa Fetish Market in Lome, Togo is a haven for voodoo practitioners. Okay. Fetish.
By fetish, we're referring to the talismans that are used in voodoo healing.
Things like the crocodile head, chimpanzee hands, cobras and bones. Lots of bones. These things, or parts of things, are sold as ingredients to be ground up, mixed with herbs, and cooked over a fire. The resulting black powder is rubbed into a cut on the patient's chest, hopefully curing him of whatever brought him there in the first place. What the...
Well, they say, there's if you look at the medical, how things medically, we have succumbed to Western medical that we don't know what's out there. Maybe that works. I'm not gonna I don't want some guy taking chimpanzee penis, burning it and grinding it up and rubbing it into my chest. Oh, I want you
when
to
I
say
read
that.
Yeah, you want me to say the next one. I know I'm not looking forward to it already. But when I think of the voodoo thing, have you seen the movie Scooby-Doo?
The movie?
Yeah, the movie with Matthew Lillard, where he plays Shaggy.
Nope.
Okay, well, towards the end of it, there's a voodoo guy on this little island.
There's always voodoo guys in Scooby-Doo.
But I can't remember the guy's name that played him, but he was funny. But that's what it just made me think of with the bones and stuff. All right. I'm not going to read all of these. I'm not going to get through all of them.
Let's skip that one because that one sucked. Oh, this is
de las Muñecas. Yeah,
the one that's after this. I really, really, really want to go to
Battleship Island in Nagasaki, Japan.
Yeah,
I said it right.
Yeah, this is. I've heard of this. I've seen pictures of it. It's just, it's wild.
That one almost looks. The picture of that building almost looks similar to that. Is it an Air Force base or something? Talked about like a while back.
That's been deserted?
Yeah, that's what that looks like.
This one, in the 1950s, it was a bustling homes of thousands of coal miner workers. Hishima Island has been abandoned since 1974 when the coal mine shut down. There's always been something a bit sinister about this deserted island. Isolated is a double-edged sword surrounded by the sea. Surrounded by sea might mean the excellent vacation getaway, or getting stranded with no place to run. The dilapidated buildings and abandoned belongings of former coal miners make it a place that feels almost like a deserted island on the earth. Although Hishima was entirely closed off until 2009, travelers are now allowed to visit. So it was kind of it's also served as the secret headquarters of Bond villain Raul Servia in the 2012 movie Skyfall. So I have heard a lot about this place, and it's the things that happened there. The coal mines were shut down because of things that were happening outside of what the normal thing.
People like unexplained stuff happening outside?
Big time unexplained. Like there's one story that they talked about where the coal miners were digging, and when they broke through, they were, they're blowing out the mine like they normally do and digging, and all of a sudden they were getting ready to blow this wall, and they kind of chipped away at it, and the wall fell through. On the other side was already a tunnel that no one knew was there. And they said when the wall fell, the people that were there, the coal miners, felt like they felt spirits being let free, like something was trapped there, and now it's been let out. So after that is when everything started happening. So we need to go.
Go.
Why not?
I want to go. I said we need to go.
Okay, then we'll go. I don't know how we'll pay for that one, but what the hell?
Yeah, right. As soon as we win the lottery, we're going to go all of these places.
We win the lottery, we're going to all these places on this list.
And then we're going to share it on our page.
And then we're going to come back and go, somebody help me.
Right. Here's one that people have probably heard of, and it's the catacombs in Paris, France.
Yep. The amount of bones that are in the catacombs are just amazing.
Have you been there?
No. We were right outside of it, and we weren't allowed to go in. It was closed for the day when Kelly and I went there. But there's roughly 6 million people. The bones of roughly 6 million people are under there, and that's what they line the walls with.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I see a bunch of skulls, like 2 rows of skulls, like going down the center of the wall. 3.
Yeah, there's a row at the top. Don't miss that one.
Yeah, I see it. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
If you're claustrophobic, don't go there.
Yeah, no. Well, they say it's bigger than what you think, but the one thing it says is
still underground.
Don't veer off the trail, though. In the summer of 2017, 2 teenagers were lost in the caverns and networks for 3 days because they wandered off.
Wow. Oh, it says a short section of the caverns are open to the public.
Yep.
With visiting hours from 10 a.m. to 8:30.
So we'll have to go to that one. The Davakaraza crater, or the gateway to hell, the one that's been burning for over 40 years.
Darvaza.
It's been burning for 40 years, and they don't know why it's burning.
This is really a crater deep. Oh, there is really a crater deep. The Turkmenistan desert that's been burning inferno for the past 40 years. Officially called the Darvaza crater, this incredible site is also nicknamed the Gateway or Doorway to Hell. There's no concrete record of what exactly happened, making the fiery cavern even more intriguing. It's said to have formed in 1971 when Soviet geologists looking for oil realized they'd stumbled across a cavern of natural gas. They set it alight to avoid the spread of methane gas. Now it's an incredible sight and a total wilderness and veritable tourist attraction. Even in Turkmenistan, it isn't the easiest place to travel to due to strict visa policies.
So it's been burning since 1971. If that's all natural gas, that's hell. That's wild.
It doesn't say how wide it is or anything.
I know. It doesn't say how big it actually is. I have to look that one up. Huh.
Alright, there's only a couple more left, but I'm
going to
skip over this.
Next one is that Bell Witch Caves in Tennessee.
Is that the one where they do the zip lining thing? In Tennessee or Kentucky. One of them has I think it's during Halloween or something, they have a zip line thing at night. It's completely dark.
Didn't know that. I think that's in Kentucky, though.
Okay.
The spirit of Southern Gothics can be embraced with the spine-tingling visit to the Bell Witch Cave. The supposed one-time home of an evil witch who plagued the Bell family of Tennessee in the 1800s. This spirit allegedly poisoned and killed John Bell, wreaking havoc on his family, particularly his daughter Betsy. It is said that the witch was a vengeful neighbor, Kate Batts. Ooh. Road trip.
We got a lot of road trips we got to write down here. Come on.
That one's only in Tennessee. That one's close.
This is true.
Is that the last one?
That's the last one I'm going to read, yeah, because I can't pronounce the other ones. But there is one thing I wanted to bring up really quick, that when you were talking about the haunted hotels or whatever, and you brought up Alabama, and one article I was reading earlier it's in Huntsville, Indiana, but it's called Dead Children's Playground is a haunted park hidden inside Alabama's largest cemetery. And I'd never heard of this cemetery. It's called Drost Park in Huntsville, Alabama. Might just be the world's most unfortunately situated park. Nicknamed Dead Children's Playground, the eerily isolated park is located in a secret spot smack dab in the middle of a 100-acre Maple Hill cemetery.
Damn.
100-acre cemetery.
That's huge.
I mean, I don't know, it'd take days to investigate that cemetery.
No kidding. 100 acres?
Weeks. Yeah. It says Maple Hill Cemetery is Alabama's largest cemetery and was founded way back in 1822. So there's probably a crap ton of headstones that you can't even read anymore. And though the graveyard has been at the center of quite a bit of playground activity, it's Dead Children's Playground that is the real hot spot. It's Dead Children's Playground that is the real hot spot when it comes to meeting a ghost. The small playground is tucked away inside the actual cemetery, and many paranormal investigators say it's a regular haunt for the spirits of deceased children who still come to play when the sun goes down. And legend says that during the 1960s, the area around the Huntsville was gripped with a terrible rash of children abductions that devastated the city. Unfortunately, many of the children didn't survive the clutches of their captors, and their bodies were discovered around the area where the macabre playground now sits. And there's photos of it, too. This is on Weekend Weird.
Who'd have thunk?
It's on Weekend Weird. Over the years, many curious adventurers have made the midnight trek down the long, dark road to Dead Children's Playground, which, if it's smack dab in the middle, in the middle, how long do you think it took to get there?
100 acres?
Yeah.
If you're walking, a good bit.
It says it's smack dab in the middle. Investigators have reported witnessing the swing moving by itself, as well as hearing the disembodied voices of children singing, playing, and even calling out to them. The swings, which are said to sometimes swing back and forth side by side, are usually at the center of the activity. The citizens of Huntsville are so fond of the little haunted playground that in 2007, when the city removed the slides and swing sets to make more room of the cemetery, the public outcry caused the city to not only put the playground back, but to replace all of the equipment with brand new installations. So it looks like a brand new playground right now. And some of these pictures are like the older metal slide playgrounds.
What's the name of this again?
It's called Drost Park, Drost Park in Huntsville, Alabama. And it's on Weekend Weird is where I saw it. It seems that the Dead Children's Playground isn't going anywhere, and seeing as the paranormal activity has only increased in the past few years, it's safe to say that the spirits haunting the park are just as glad to have the space as the living. 100-acre cemetery, though. That's just mind-blowing.
That is freaking huge.
World's large. Did you find it? Are you looking at the pictures?
You said, spell it again?
D as in dog. ROST.
Park. Bring me those pictures.
Find them? Well, while you're looking for that, are you finding it?
Oh, it's in. They built
it's in Huntsville.
Huntsville, Alabama. They built that park in the middle of that cemetery? Holy crap.
I think the cemetery has been formed around it. Is what I think.
And people take their kids there to play.
Well, they're going to come home with an imaginary friend, okay?
They're going to come home with something. Holy crap. Mom, look, I found a tailbone. Can I keep it?
In that story, it said that some of the children had died around that area. So, I don't know.
Wow.
Let's just build a playground.
Well, maybe they're building a playground to keep the children there.
Could be.
Give them something to do so they don't wander off into the unknown.
Could be. I'd go back there and check it out.
So would I.
A swing set move, as long as it's not on a windy day.
Yeah, that would be the big thing. There couldn't be any wind at all. Because if you start seeing the wind, then are we actually seeing what we're seeing? Or maybe we're not. Who knows?
So are you still on Weekend Weird?
Yep.
Okay. So I have a different story.
Uh-oh.
It's called The Grave with a Window. Visiting the mysterious final resting place of Dr. Timothy Clark Smith. And it says, I don't know if you might be able to find it. That's the title of it. The Grave with a Window. It says, thanks to thousands of accidental burials during the 18th and 19th century.
Oh, I remember this story.
I can't even read that word.
I remember the
Or
story.
fear. You remember the story?
Well, yeah, people used to be afraid that they were going to be buried before
Buried
they were
alive.
actually yeah. So they used to build windows into their like coffins and stuff. That way they could, people would walk by and look, and they'd have people, for so many days walk by and look to see if someone was still alive down there. And if they were alive, they'd unbury them.
Yeah. Well, this guy actually has that grave like that.
That is wild.
Do you see the picture?
Yeah, I'm looking at all the gas building up on the thing. I wonder if you can actually see him through it.
Wonder if the glass stayed clean enough where you could see.
Yeah. Timothy Clark Smith was a doctor in rural town New Haven, Vermont, who heard of many Lazarus syndrome cases that he developed a crippling case of taphophobia. Not only was he worried that he might send his parents to an early grave, but he became concerned that should he kick the bucket, someone with less experience might make the wrong diagnosis and ship him off to a cemetery for premature burial. As Dr. Smith became more and more obsessed with waking up in a coffin, he began to design a special grave, one that would let him signal mourners on the surface just in case he was actually buried. It sounds a bit over the top, but when you consider just how many people were accidentally buried thanks to Lazarus syndrome, you probably fork out the cash for the special coffin too.
Right?
One of the most common medical theories about the cause of Lazarus syndrome involves a buildup of pressure in the chest cavity as a result of cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Once the pressure in the chest lessens, the heart is given room to expand, which can trigger an electrical impulse and restart the heart. In other words, the heart basically shocks itself back to life. And in the time when bodies were likely buried quickly without embalming, it wasn't quite out of the question for someone to wake up in their coffin. Many of the safety caskets patented during the 18th and 19th centuries involved bells, switches, and of course Timothy Clark's infamous coffin window. In fact, it is believed that we get the saying "dead ringer" and "Saved by the Bell" thanks to these contraptions. See, that makes sense now, though. Saved by the Bell. Saved by the Bell. We can't be saved by the bell. So now that, but Zach didn't die in Saved by the Bell, and they didn't put him in a coffin on the TV show Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell.
On how she screeched, looking.
If you scroll down further, you can see the glass. Like they have an up close picture of it.
Yep, it's all green and funky around the edges.
Got like water drops in it and stuff.
And these people are like, they go grave knocking. Hello, are you still there?
Are you alive in there? I don't know.
Oh, if you read down further, it says, unfortunately, the glass is quite muggy with condensation and mud. But if you visit at night with a high-powered flashlight, there's a very good chance you'll see Dr. Smith's decomposing body staring back up at you. So he's actually in there.
Well, I hope so.
Well, I didn't know if he was out walking around somewhere.
Well, if you, and it's weird, if you look at the picture, there's one that looks like at an angle, and his is like kind of on a little hill, but then the other one right before it looks like it could be another one with a window.
Yeah, true. So well, maybe that's his parents, because remember, they thought his parents had the same thing.
Ah.
So maybe it's his parents buried next to him. Maybe he spent lots and lots of time there wondering, did I bury my mom and dad alive?
Oh my god.
We only thought mom died, so we buried dad with her.
Oh my god. He'll still wave at you if you shine a light in there.
Actually, he's flipping you off. Get me the hell out of here, you little son of a... I don't want to be with her. They said exhumed coffins would often contain deep scratch marks on the inside of their lids, corpse twisted in fear, and other telltale signs that someone had woken up underground. Ugh.
So, like, were people actually, like, buried alive?
Yeah, with all the modern advances in medical science, there was a fear that being buried alive isn't quite so prevalent today. But in the past, way back when, there was a good reason to be worried in that in the 1800s, it wasn't uncommon to hear reports of the sick or dying experience a phenomenon called Lazarus syndrome, which is described as a spontaneous return of circulation after failed attempts of resuscitation. And that's when it starts talking about, the coffins were exhumed and there was deep, huge scratches where people were trying to claw their way out, people twisting around in fear and getting stuck and then just dying underneath there of lack of oxygen, for number one.
Huh.
So, yeah, that was an actual real thing. And if you ever want to you can look up history on different coffins that were made where there was viewing windows that went all the way down to the coffins, or the bells, or a little switch after electricity started becoming more and more. They'd put a switch in the coffin which would turn a light on, and the only way you could turn it on or off was in the coffin. So if you drove by or were going by a cemetery and saw a light on, probably someone turned it on from the inside, or someone had a battery pack and was just messing with the people driving by. So it was a big thing back in the 1800s. It was huge. It was really huge.
Aw, we only have a minute. We only have a minute left already.
That went by quick.
That's because we never shut up.
I know. If we shut up, then it'll be a quiet show.
And they don't want that.
I want to thank everybody for listening out there. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being with us tonight. Shannon, thank you. You're awesome as always.
You're welcome, buddy. You're awesome too.
So, everybody join us next week when we'll come up with something even freakier and weirder to talk about. We'll just see if we can't keep going down this rabbit hole for a while. Thank you guys very much for being here. Keep it safe. Keep happy. Do right by one another. And you know what? Just have a good week. Good rest of the week. And for
everybody needs a good week.
For all the people up in Minnesota that is snowing right now, I'm sorry.
You guys can keep it.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you later. Without anything else to say, I guess we'll see you in the dark. Bye, guys. Good night.
Night.